Greetings and salutations. Welcome back to the Nasty Work Podcast. I am Nia Senior with my amazing co host, as always, Coach Law. Today is May 9th, and
Wow.
I know, right? The time is freaking flying. With it being May 9th, that means W season is almost in full swing, but that means we're currently in preseason training camp time. So we've had a few games to see what our rookie girlies, our new draftees were giving. So that's what we're going to go ahead and break down for you today. Are the girls living up to the hype or are they busting? Let's get into it. First on the list, we might as well just start it off with what the girls want to hear about, what we want to know about.
Number one pick,
But the number one pick, number one draft pick, Miss Prada herself, the Caitlin Clark, honey, for the Indiana Fever. Now, she's only played one game so far in terms of preseason. The day that we're filming this, she will play her second preseason game. But in her pro debut, I feel like she lived up to the hype for the most part, in my opinion, just to cut to the chase. She had 21 points. That's a good night for CC. We know she's capable of 40 plus, but rookie, first game ever in your pro career, 21 points,
definitely respectable.
very respectable. Plus, to go along with the 21 points, 2 assists, 3 rebounds, and she did it in 28 minutes.
So
I'm
we
not
love to see a successful rookie debut. First and foremost, congratulations to the number one pick.
right.
Sue Bird, is right as she often is. Like Caitlin's range is something that gives her an advantage in this league. They haven't really seen that before. They've seen step back threes before. Shout out to
Right.
Erika. But Caitlin's hesitation, inability to really like lure the defender to the position she wants them before she creates that just enough separation. Her quick release gives her a major advantage in the W.
Facts.
And teams are going to, be studying the film, figuring out different ways to make it difficult for her to score in the game. Like that's their job. But I was actually very interested to see how she meshed with the team and how she approached different pick and roll situations, how strong her ball handling skills were. I noticed that she does have the ball in the string, but like it's a much more physical league. It's a much faster pace than a Big Ten. So
Yes.
I did notice she was having to push off a little more,
Oh,
like
she
try to
played.
create a little more space for herself. She's not as successful as with as much data as we have. We've only seen that one preseason
Right.
game going to the cup as she would have been in college thus far. So those are things she's gonna have to work on. But overall, a really good debut. What you would expect. She gives the fans what they want every time,
Every
and
time.
um, she's really focused. Her teammates seem to really embrace her. They were clocking up. They were giving her the chains
Hey,
and like,
yes.
yeah, what were they saying?
Kate Clo, Kate Clo chains. As they was calling her.
I was
The new
cracking up.
the new Kirk Cousins.
Their new Kirk Cousins. So I was glad to see everybody embracing her and her feeling like she's in a good position, in a good fit. Because that's what they talk about with the W is like, it's not really how high you go,
But
like
fit.
in other leagues, like the MNBA. It's what's a good fit for you.
Exactly.
And this seems to be a good fit for her.
I agree. I think that Cece did Cece things. Only thing that I was thinking about her coming into the pros, especially on the team that she's drafted on, having Aaliyah Boston down in your post. I just thought she would have had more assists. I didn't think that she would be taking as many shots as she did. So taking 15 shots in your first game is low key a lot. I mean, I know that was, the topic of conversation with her college career. It's like, is she going to be able to score as many points or is she going to be taking this many shots? And everybody was like, no, she's not. But it seems that she kind of has the green light to take shots more than I thought she would this early on. But I mean, she CC, like you said, her range is just so different compared to most of everybody else. She's gonna pull up from the half court, and that's a shot she can make. Yeah, so I'm just hoping to see more assists from her because I feel like we've talked about it before, but her passing is just so slept on and it's like a part of her game. And so having someone like Aaliyah Boston who you can pass to or Nalissa Smith on your team, I feel like is the super advantage that she didn't necessarily have at Iowa. So I just want to see maybe that number go up. But
Yeah, I definitely, like, in my notebook, predicted she would lead the league in assists. But again, it's a different pace, a different style of play. It's a new game. And, some of that might be coaching too. It's the preseason. You want her to feel as comfortable as possible. You want her to start getting in a rhythm now.
right, yeah.
Like, you want your shooter to get in a rhythm now, get used to speed now. So you don't want her to just be out there just running around and then, oh, wait, I need to know what it feels like to shoot at game speed. So some of that might have been coaching as well.
And just one more last point on it, just kind of like speaking of speed, that is what Christy, the coach of the Indiana Fever, was saying in their like post game presser. Just basically like that Caitlin was tired. Like 28 minutes is no joke for a debut game when you play 40 minutes, but how fast the pace of the game really is, and it's a step up from college.
And
And
point
we'll get,
guards have to be in the best shape of every single person on the damn team. You are going end to end. You
yep,
are guarding usually the fastest person on the other team.
exactly.
It's a lot.
Very much. And everybody's been concerned about her being a potential defensive liability, but I feel like she did decent. She definitely got blown past quite a few times, but that was expected. It wasn't anything
I
like
mean, give her a break. I
egregious.
mean, the backcourt for
Dallas.
Dallas they're
Yeah,
not slow.
at all. So we'll give her some grace there. But overall, claps up for the number one pick. Great debut so far. Interested to see what she does in the Indiana Fever game against Atlanta Dream tonight and what that looks like. So next up, we just got to talk about Cece's bestie, her former Iowa teammate, Kate Martin. We haven't got a chance to really see her play in an actual preseason game yet because everybody's being pussy and they don't want to play the Aces. So they only have one preseason game against Puerto Rico, period. And so, but luckily, shout out to the Aces, being having a great marketing team and just understanding the need for or that fans want to see what's going on in training camp in preseason. That they did online scrimmage that you could watch on YouTube. It's still up there if you haven't had a chance to watch it. So we did get to see Kate Martin play some against, teammates, the practice players, and she looked good. Like clearly we don't have a box score for her, so we don't know what she's putting up, but just even her ability to honestly keep up with the pace of the game. I was like, okay, no, Kate is running with the best of them. She doesn't look tired. She doesn't look
Mhm.
winded. Looks like she knows what the hell is going on. So
Mhm.
I'm like, okay. And they've done a big round of cuts so far. I think that the Aces roster is at the 12 that it needs to be already. And Kate hasn't been cut yet. So let's see.
Yeah, I from watching her in training camp, because I stalked the Aces online, their YouTube. Kate Martin is looks like she's going to be mighty successful in the WNBA. I think a common misconception a lot of people have, especially talented players, to be honest, is that you have to be a superstar, super scorer to be successful at the professional level.
Right.
And the honest truth is that you will have of the best colleges, whether it's men or women, maybe two, three players that are ready for the professional level after college. And then of those people who go to the professional level, the ones who will be most successful are the ones who are great role players,
Facts.
right? Like, because among them, the cream rises to the top. And then you have those people we talk about, our 1A, 1B type
B
players, like on teams, right? Like an Asia Wilson. So if there's something Kate Martin knows is how to think the game. She came in shape. She's
facts.
playing at a high level, and she knows how to be an excellent role player because
Excellent.
she played with the best
College player.
college player in the women's game, right? So she knows how to think like, okay, how do I make my teammate, my 1A shine? How do I make the right cut at the right time? How do I make sure I put us in a good defensive position so we're not getting our bigs in foul trouble because I didn't you know, guard
Right.
correctly, and then they had to come over and help and make a bad play. Like, she knows how to play a role. So I'm excited to see her do things with the Aces. Even if she doesn't get a whole lot of playing time, she'll be beneficial to that squad every day in practice.
And I'm just so glad you touched on that because I feel like IQ is just so slept on, especially when it comes to rookies. I feel like that plays a major part in sometimes in making a roster. It's just like how can you be helpful in any way? And
Yeah.
sometimes it's not what you can do on the court because sometimes coaches don't need for you, especially as a rookie, to come in and put up points. Like, some teams, like if you're the number one draft pick, yeah, that's what I need you to do. I need you to go score. I need you to go be good.
And
When a team like
honestly,
Aces,
like, if you're the Aces, what do you need
exactly.
in
So
that
it's like
regard?
people always talk about their depth. How can they help on the bench? And so I feel like Sydney Colson's like a really good example of like she's
Mhm,
a culture piece clearly for their team. Not saying that she's not a great basketball player. She is, but based on the level of quality and status that they have on their roster, they don't necessarily need to go out and put up whatever 20 and 10 or 9. And that's not what they're going to need from Kay Martin. And so what she's able to contribute is she's willing to learn, she's showing up in shape, and they seem to like her. Like KP in all her interviews has mentioned her and said like good things about her. Becky seems to really enjoy her, has given her a nickname. So I think it's a really great fit. It just goes to show you that, like, once again, it doesn't necessarily matter in the W where you're drafted in terms of spot and number, but where you're going. Like, fit is just so
mhm.
important. So I'm excited to see what Kate does. Hopefully, she'll get a couple playing minutes in the Aces preseason game against Puerto Rico. The W is trashed and is not streaming it. I hope they get that together between now and Sunday, Saturday, whenever the game is, so that we can watch it too. So same vein, same game. Indiana Fever played the Dallas Wings, so we also got to see the debut of JC Sheldon at that game,
Mhm.
who was a first round draft pick as well. I feel like she had a very solid game. We know JC for being a point guard at Ohio State, but also being like a very defensively sound player. Like that's just what she's known for. And I feel
Mhm.
like that's what she gave us. She played 13 minutes. It was a lot of like defense. She got pushed down by Caitlin Clark, and
No,
the shot
violently.
violently. Like the clip has been circling Twitter. If you haven't seen it, please.
It was like
It's
some
not hard to
bad
find.
blood or something, like, that was
But
crazy.
I'm like, okay, now that's the playground, honey. Now we pushing and shoving. And she made her shots 100% from the field. It wasn't like she took 20 shots or nothing, but I feel like a very solid debut. And she put on, and she'll make the team, which they
Yeah,
need
she
her.
was great. I liked her the energy she played with. She knocked it down, you know, not a hesitation. She knows where to be on defense. She's not afraid to get in the guard's grill on defense. And
Yeah,
like that, like people look like, okay, so she hit two threes. But like in college, JC Sheldon was very efficient. Like her
very.
shooting percentage was like 48, 49%,
So
which is crazy. You could not leave her open.
yeah, and I feel like Dallas needs that efficiency piece. They have shooters, but they don't
Yeah.
have the most efficient shooters. They have a lot of high volume shooters. So to have her be able to come in and one help on the defensive end, and then two like knock down a bucket if need be, or if it's open,
Hmm.
looks like a great
Especially
fit
off
too.
the bench, like when Enrique is getting a breather and you got to maintain scoreboard. She's a great piece. I like that selection for Dallas at number 6,
And also as a backup point guard because the Dallas has now waived Crystal Dangerfield or traded her.
which I believe is short sighted, but
Right. So they need a backup point guard or someone to help run the point, and JC Sheldon is very seasoned at that. So another great debut. Now we got to move on to some of our favorites. Chicago Sky. They got none other than Camila Cardoso, Angel Reese, and they've already played 2 preseason games. So we have, a little bit
yeah, why
more
they
to
working
go.
my girl so hard? Like what?
That's I'm like, okay, everybody else one game.
I mean, they
They
used
put
to
them to
it, but
work.
damn.
I feel like the teams they schedule their own preseason. So Teaspoon was like, I need to see what I'm working with. She got a lot of people
No,
she got to
that's
touch.
facts.
So she like, y'all gonna play.
Yeah, y'all look, lace them up,
Let's
get
get
in the
to 'em.
van on the plane. Woo.
Right. Ooh, on the plane, period. Okay, so Camila Cardoso, let's start out with her. So the Chicago Sky played against the Minnesota Lynx in their first preseason game. So the rookies debut. Camilla, she played. Well, she had a really good actually first game, and she didn't play that long. She only played like I believe like 15 minutes. She had 6 points, 4 rebounds, 2 blocks, and a steal. And the
Mhm.
only reason that she didn't play that many minutes is because she got hurt literally in the
Yeah.
games. But that's a super solid debut for a rookie. Like, she filled up the damn stat sheet,
Right.
and then you get hurt. So it's like, okay, I could have done even more. I could have done better if I wasn't injured. So I'm really sad for her to see that she's going to be out for 4 to 6 weeks, which is like a fourth of the season. Honestly, she needs some rest. My sister's been putting in work all year. There was no time
Actually,
off.
Molly was torturing her on Instagram.
Oh
We
God.
saw, "Oh, look who checked in. Get ready for training camps." Molly was just had that, like loving evil grin where she's just putting you through hell. Body by Benetti. But
Right.
yeah, I'm not saying I don't want to see her play. I always want to see Camilla play.
Right.
Everybody wants to see Camilla play on Twitter. The fans in Brazil were going crazy. I
Okay.
started Duolingo.
Come on, Portuguese.
Gotta get my dual. I gotta understand these tweets. I don't like.
Translate. Okay.
I saw the Dominata part. That made sense to me. Okay. But there were some other, words in there, letters in there. I'm not really familiar, so let me get myself up to speed. But no, I love Camilla. I know she'll come back stronger, better, and it'll be good. Like she hasn't been on a bench in a long time, so she gets to see
Long
and
time.
observe and learn and pick up on people's tendencies and really see what kind of player she wants to be before just going out there. I mean, you learn best from experience, but you can learn a lot being on the
From
bench, paying attention to the dynamics, what's going on the sideline too.
very much so. And so I'm just also glad that like in that small little bit of time that she played, she had a great debut. So it's like they
Yeah.
know what they're getting when she's, coming back from
Oh yeah, they
in-
know they're gonna get a Gamecock. Period.
point blank period. Okay. Number 3 draft pick. Let's not forget.
That's not.
Ever. So our other great girly, Miss Angel Reese, my cousin, she did her big one in both games. In game one, she had 13 points. In game two, she had 13 points. But in game one against Minnesota, she had 9 rebounds. She almost had a double double in her rookie debut. Plus, she had a block. Like, that's crazy. In the game against New York, 13 points, 5 rebounds, 2 steals in 19 minutes. Like, come on. Like, the stat sheet doesn't even do it justice. She was just
No, it
dog
doesn't.
energy.
I don't know if it's Baltimore. I don't know if it's just knowing you're her. I love a young woman who knows she's her.
Yes.
Sometimes people are like, "Oh, I'm humble. Oh, this." She's like, "No, I'm
No,
me and I'm her and I'm that girl." And she plays like that. She stunts like that. It's exciting to see her. And I knew she was going to be underrated for the league. Like, she's built for this league.
built.
Like, literally from the ground up. 6'3", super strong. Watching her play live in the Elite Eight, I was like, "Oh no, she's actually 6'3". All these other coaches be lying on their little
On the
sheet.
right about how tall their players are.
No, I'm not, like I get it, but no, she's a full 6'3". Her wingspan's incredible, and the energy she plays with, the way she is vocal, she's willing to just tell people what it is, and she just plays so free and unafraid. Like the way she ripped that guard and then started the fast break and it led to a bucket and transition. Like
And
that's some stuff you can't teach.
you can't teach grit. Like, you can't teach hustle. You can't teach just
Yeah.
like those intangibles that she has. It's just dog.
Yeah. And you really can't teach instinct. And
That's the
Angel
part.
has great instincts. All the other things people say about, like, oh, well, her bag and da da. Everybody thinks a bag is the answer to everything. Y'all got it confused. That develops over time if you want it to develop. But if you can't apply what you know in a game situation when it matters, nobody cares. Like you can have
Exactly.
every shifty move, you can have every post move in your bag, but if you can't apply things in the right game situation, if you can't actually push the floor, make the right read and pass the ball, pinpoint to the next person, if you like you can't read the double team and play through it physically and score or make the right pass, which she showed she could do both already as a rookie. It's cute to have a bag for your reels on
Right.
Instagram,
Highlights.
but it's not gonna matter that much.
Exactly. Fundamentals win games. Like defense wins championships, fundamentals win games. And Angel Reese has that down to a T. She's gonna go back up for the rebound. She's always in the right freaking place, it seems like, to catch the
Yeah, it's
ball.
really
Like
crazy.
her ability to rebound is really just insane to me.
It's insane, yeah.
And she's just an electric player to watch. And I feel like we
Mhm,
don't or we because basketball fanatics are like obsessed. I feel like the common fan doesn't like appreciate bigs when it comes to excitement in a game, and I feel like Angel
mhm,
is really like showing that it can be exciting to be a big. Like a lot of times people are like guard, they want to see the step back threes, the logos, all of that stuff,
mhm,
but she makes it fun to watch her play. Like
mhm. And she's looks like she's fun to play with her. Her teammates really gravitate toward her. And we talked earlier about fit. You know, she said this in her own press conference, but this is the right fit for her. Chicago, she already embracing the city. The city's embracing her, asking for Soul Food Rex on Twitter.
right,
Mm. It's just a great it's a great fit for her. Teaspoon speaks highly of her work ethic.
very
They
much
already
so.
seem to have a good bond. So yeah, things are on the up for Angel. She's not worried about y'all. Met Gala one evening in New York City, and then slaying New York City in the court the next day, and then on to the next thing. We got a Good American campaign dropping, like already a mogul
I'm
at 22.
a mogul, honey. Her 24 hours are not the same as everybody else's 24 hours.
It's
So
not the same as mine for sure.
for damn sure. So, an excellent debut, honestly. She's probably been my favorite debut so far of all of the rookies. Yeah, just super exciting. So, next up, someone I feel like who wasn't drafted but did get a training camp contract that's coming out of college is Jalen Sherrod. She's playing right now for the New York Liberty. Chicago Sky played the New York Liberty in that second preseason game. And baby, the Chicago Sky literally doubled the New York Liberty
Well,
score. It was a very piss poor performance from the New York
well,
Liberty. Just honestly embarrassing. They should be embarrassed. But the one bright spot in that embarrassing performance for New York Liberty was Jalen Sherrod. She honestly
period.
was the best guard on the floor to me, or at least displayed the most effort, which is like crazy to say when
Which
you're
is a
talking
crazy
about
thing to say.
two former MVPs, someone's been in the league for 50 years. Like, it's just very crazy to say. But she did her thing. She had 4 points, two steals, in only 10 minutes. And I feel like Jalen is known for being a point guard, of course, at Colorado, but is very much so known for her defense. And that is what Sandy Bardolo mentioned, even in the presser. Like her ability to defend is what set her apart from everybody else that was on that floor. Because Dana Evans was having a great freaking game, was cooking for Chicago Sky, and she only got cooled down when Jalen was the one that was guarding her. So it was super excited to see, and just to see Jalen running up and down the court. The girl is freaking Usain Bolt. Like it's insane.
No,
It's
it's
very
really like a blur. Like I turned back, the possession's over. I'm like, what happened? She just she spats as lightning. And her agility, like she's the only one that could guard Dana Evans. She was the only one that I saw like really make explosive moves to the basket out of the guard. Yeah, I like her game, and she's very smooth running the point already. She has a very good mind for the game. She comes from an excellent coaching background. She was at Colorado. So, that coach is amazing. So I'm excited for her. I hope she makes the roster for real. They need her. They need a piece like that,
they do.
especially at the guard position. And with her being there, she can learn from veterans like Vandersloot, and that would be a great fit for her. So I hope they keep her for real.
Right, and they need some youth because Vandersloot is giving me about to retire. This is a
And
silent
Saab is
quitting,
just a defensive liability. So
quite literally. But
it's
Naja, I don't
just,
know what's going on. Maybe our sister was tired. Maybe her wig was too tight. I don't know.
I don't know. I was trying not to do this, but like even Brundello, the Liberty coach, had to say in the presser, no, it was embarrassing. That was her words. I'm not making a narrative. Like, I know I'm an Aces fan.
Right.
I don't care. Like, go watch it. It's on the WNBA app. You can watch it. And tell me if that looks like a team that has a chip on their shoulder because they went to the WNBA finals last year and shit the bed
Okay.
and want to come back now and dominate. Tell me if that's what you see, or if you tell me if you see some people playing frigid and timid and like they don't really care. And I'm
Just
not
very
even talking
lackluster.
about the younger players, the role players, the veterans. I'm talking about
Start
starters, vets.
1B. Like,
I'm literally talking about Slew did what she could do.
which ain't too
Okay.
much.
Stewie knocked the rust off, I guess, but like I don't know if you noticed, y'all play for New York.
Currently.
Like, you don't play for Kalamazoo. You play for New York City, Stu York. Like, and y'all are not the only team that can win in New York no more. The Knicks are in the playoffs too. Get it
So
together. It
tighten
doesn't make
up.
sense. Tighten up. Y'all look crazy. It looked like when you go to one of those AAU tournament games and all the players is spoiled on one team and they got their ass handed to them in the first quarter. They didn't like getting cussed out. Now they just dragging their feet out there, letting the clock run out because the other team up 30. It looked
Exactly.
like spoiled kids. It did not look like people who
Yeah.
have a Mamba mentality.
No, just a very defeated attitude.
It was
No.
just not fun to watch. Even though I liked watching this guy beat y'all ass, it wasn't
Right.
that
That
fun.
was cute.
Like, I would rather see a competitive,
Back and
high
forth.
level quality game, run from one team, run from another team, like
Exactly. It was very piss poor. But shout out to Jalen Sherrod. Another small bright spot for Quisha Davis, who was their first round draft pick for the New York Liberty. She had 4 points, 3 rebounds, and a steal in 15 minutes. And I feel like also, along with Jalen, just in terms of effort, she actually looked like she wanted to be on the court, like she wanted to win the game
mhm,
and freaking play. So
can play. She likes playing. Like, if y'all
exactly.
don't like this game, you don't have to do it no more.
Simply quit.
I know y'all tired of Asia Wilson whooping y'all ass, but damn.
Like, you don't have to take it. You can go play in Istanbul
You can go wherever you wanna go, okay?
if you're exhausted.
Man, I feel bad, like, and I feel bad for Brundella too, cause she's tired, like, you can tell she's tired. She went in the press conference and just said, "No, that was a piss poor effort, I don't have anything to say, that wasn't the game plan, that's not what we talked about. I don't know
Nothing.
what's going on."
She was very lost. She's lost control of the ship.
Yeah, it's looking crazy.
Very much nasty work in the worst kind of way. So the last rookie that we want to kind of talk about, at least today, that we've seen is Nika Mule, our Croatian baddie from UConn. She's playing over at the Seattle Storm. In her debut against the Phoenix Mercury, she had 6 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists, and she played 20 minutes. And she got a good little, welcome to the league moment from DT. So overall, good showing. I mean, Nika did Nika things. It wasn't anything to like write home about, but it was a good debut. Very
No,
solid,
that
very
UConn culture is there.
right. But Nika, solid debut. Excited. I think it's a really good fit for her, honestly, to be with the Storm.
Yeah.
Culturally, player wise, everything. They needed somebody that was going to come in and be a defender. And one thing we know about Miss Lulu, she can defend. So
She'll lock them down.
very much locked down. So I hate to say it, but the rookies is kind of looking like more like the vets so far.
Not the rookie, I'm the vet.
Okay,
Although
that's
DT did kinda knock Mule over a little bit. That
that didn't
wasn't
say much.
nice.
Welcome
But
to the
we know
league.
DT crazy, so
Right, she just wants to hate the girls just a little bit. I mean,
just a little, she just wants you to feel her energy a little bit.
just a tad. I mean, all-time leading scorer in the league. She's earned that.
Mm, yeah, UConn on UConn crime, but it's fine, like,
I'm not too
it'll be
stressed.
fine. And I think Nika the UConn girlies, they just work so hard, like, it's scary if you ever seen them work out. I saw Maya Moore work out when I was in middle school. I saw her at a workout, and it made me tired.
Not tired from watching, honey.
From watching her, and I just was like, "No, I don't know if I'm good or
Like,
not. I think
yeah.
I'm okay." But, like, and
Yeah.
she did her warm up, and I was like, "Wow, that's a lot of drills." That was the warm up. I was like, "Oh, shit." Like,
Okay.
"Oh, you were just but you had, like, a little weight and you had resistance bands. That wasn't the workout? Okay. That was just the okay."
Literally built different over there at Geno University. But I feel like overall, they're living up to the hype so far. I don't feel like anybody
Correct.
is really busting too hard. We still have some more debuts to see from the rookies. Like we haven't been able to really watch Aaliyah
Leah
and Conklin,
Edwards.
Leah Edwards. Melissa Peely, she's played some, but like I said, not all of them have been streamed, so we can't really see. Deasia Fair still to be debuted with the Aces. And so, yeah, but for the girlies so far, they're doing their thing. They're living up to the hype. We're proud of them. Preseason is in full effect. We're excited for the W season. And we'll, of course, be kikiing and talking about it all. So, thank you for listening to this episode. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. This is the Nasty Work Podcast. I am Nia Senior, my amazing co host, as always, Coach Slaw. And we'll see you in the next episode. Toodles.